Did too many contractions during labor cause my baby's HIE and subsequent cerebral palsy or CP diagnosis? That's a question that a mother recently asked me. And today, what I want to do is I want to walk you through what might have happened, why it matters, and what might you be able to do moving into the future. And all this, of course, from a medical legal standpoint. So let's start with some of the basics. During labor, your baby is going to rely on breaks between contractions to be able to recover oxygen. But when those contractions, when they come too close together, something called tachycystole, your baby doesn't get a chance to have these breaks. So imagine trying to hold your breath over and over and over without a chance to recover oxygen. That's what it's like when your baby is going through something like this. And when the oxygen runs low, it can lead to a condition called hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, or HIE. Now, here's something else important that you have to consider. Many mothers are given a medication called Pitocin to help speed up their labor. And now, while Pitocin can be helpful in some cases, it's also known to cause contractions to become too strong or too frequent. Pitocin should be adjusted with the dosage increased slowly to minimize risks. But when Pitocin isn't monitored correctly, or when too much is given too quickly, it can put the baby at a serious risk. And when a baby shows signs of things like of distress, and that can be a slow heart rate, bradycardia, late decelerations, or minimal or absent variability in the heart rate, the standard of care is going to require for doctors to assess whether the Pitocin is contributing to the problem. This means that they should be checking the dosage, the frequency of the contractions, and how the baby is responding. If the baby is in distress, they're supposed to adjust or stop the Pitocin, change mom's position, administer oxygen, or go to an emergency C-section if it's warranted to protect the baby if they're in distress. From a medical legal perspective, this is where things can go wrong. When doctors and nurses, when they fail to adhere to the standards of care, and the baby's HIE and CP injuries are caused by them not following the standards of care, this is not just a medical mistake. This is all-out negligence. And that negligence can have life-altering and lifelong consequences for your baby and your family. HIE is a type of brain injury that's caused by oxygen deprivation. And for some babies, it will lead to CP, which is a lifelong condition that can affect movement, muscle control, and more. It's hard to think about this, especially when you realize that in some cases, all of this could have been prevented. I've worked with mothers who have went through this exact same thing. I had one mother, tell me that I kept asking, if everything was okay, but no one listened. And she later went on to learn that her baby's heart rate had been showing signs of distress on and off for hours with late decelerations, minimal to absent variability. By the time her baby was born through a vaginal delivery, it was too late. The damage to the child had already been done. If all of what I'm talking about with you today, if all of this sounds familiar, I want you to know one thing, that it's not your fault. You trusted the doctors to take care of you and your baby. And when that trust is broken, it's okay to ask questions. As a matter of fact, it's okay to demand answers for all of this. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and if you have any other questions about your baby's HIE or subsequent CP diagnosis, from a medical legal standpoint, if you have those types of questions, don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. You can find out more information about me if you click my profile. You can find out information about me there. If you're on certain apps, you can just send me a DM, or you can just wait and watch the picture that follows this video. All right, that's going to be it for this afternoon's quick educational video. Have a great afternoon, everybody.